What is going on YouTube and Diablo fans? My name's Andreas and welcome back to Mana and Motherboards. Today's video is just going to be a little quick one because it has been 2 whole weeks since the new ladder season has started, that is season 13 for the Reign of the Warlock expansion year in Diablo 2 or Diablo 2 Resurrected to be specific. And I just want to give you a little update on the season so far and where I am with my character. So if we have a look here, I am a level 92 Warlock and this is my gear. So I managed to find all of this gear myself. None of it has been traded for or anything like that. It's all been from magic finding runs by myself, pretty much P1 solo all the time. I haven't been playing public games or anything like that, so I'm quite impressed and quite stoked with the gear that I've managed to amass and find so far. And kicking it off for my helm, we have a Shaco that I put a socket in with Larzuk and then put a P-Topaz for extra magic find. Then we have a High Lords, which I managed to pick up off the Chronicle council runs recently, which is super good for this Echoing Strike build. Then we have a 31 Skin of the Viper Magi, also very stoked with that, also found that in Trav runs. I made myself a Spirit very early after getting into Hull, and it rolled 25, which is the worst faster cast rate you can get for it, but it works perfectly for what I need, so there's no problem there. I've got a very basic insight in a Colossus Vulge. I wish it was Eth for that extra damage, but I haven't managed to find an Eth 4-socketed one yet, or even an Eth 1-2 add 4 sockets to that has actually worked out. So onto gloves, I've got Laying of Hands for that 350% damage to demons, as well as that extra fire res. I have got a Dual Leech ring on the one side with a bit of extra life there. I've got a faster cast rate ring with some life, mana, and all res, which is, I think that's quite a nice ring in itself that I've got on the other ring slot. And I've also got an Arachnid Mesh Spiderweb Sash, and that I found in a terrorized zone. I think it was in the Tombs, Canyon of the Magi tombs there in Act 2, so I was very stoked with that find as well. And then for boots, just for the extra res and faster run walk, I'm just using Natalia's at the moment, and I think I could probably put on my Gore Riders or something like that very soon. So I'm pretty stoked with the gear so far. We also managed to pick up a nice little Annihilus charm from Diablo clone when he walked the other day. I'm pretty stoked with that roll. We found a Geeds. I've got one Eldritch Skiller. I've got a nice Grand Charm that I found as well, and then the rest are just all resistance charms, a couple little MF charms, things like that. I also managed to find a Chaos Skiller if I ever do go into the Miasma type build. But yeah, very stoked with the gear so far, and a little bit later in this video we are going to upgrade our gear even further, and I'm very excited to do that with all you guys. Moving on to my Merc very quickly, he has got an Eth Wormhide or Wyram Hide Treachery, and that is a great piece of armor that's very inexpensive for him at the moment. He's also got a Bulwark Helm for that lifesteal, and just in general a nice tanky helm. And then he's got an Obedience and a Mancatcher. I haven't managed to find an Eth 5-socketed base for him yet to make a better weapon, but we'll upgrade his weapon as soon as we can. Then for my Bound Demon, I've got what I consider to be the best combo, which is a Cold Holy Freeze Aura enchanted with Cursed Demon, and you can pick up any demon with these two affixes. It's going to do really well. So like I said, all of this gear has been self-found, self-farmed. I've also got a Nudge's Puzzler for teleport. We're not going to need that for very much longer, and I think some of you might just know why. And yeah, my gear is in a good spot. I think for 2 weeks into the ladder, I'm very stoked for where I am. Like I said, I'm level 92. I do about 31k when buffed Echoing Strike damage, and my resistances are capped basically. Got a decent life pool before the buffs, and we're just shredding Hull. This is a really strong build, and it's just in general a very strong character. I think Warlock is in a super good place. So moving on to our big upgrade for this video, and it was something I really wanted to get done and under my belt within the first 2 weeks, and we are hours away from exactly 2 weeks into the season. And what we have here is a 3-socketed mage plate that I found ages ago when we entered Nightmare or Hull. I think it was Nightmare Cow Runs I found that. And you might guess where this is going. We have a Bear Rune and a Jar Rune and a Ith Rune. So that can only mean one thing. We are going to be rolling an Enigma. So Enigma gives you teleport, more importantly than all of its other stats, and that is going to open up so much for this character. I am just so excited to make this, especially within 2 weeks of the ladder. I can't believe we are actually doing this, and how this all came about. So whilst I was busy with my Hull cow runs, just after that the cows became terrorized, and I was busy, I think, doing chaos runs for my 100 or 50 chaos run video, and I just did some terrorized cows because the cow level became terrorized, and in that game a Jar Rune dropped, and Jar has been so expensive this whole season. I think because Warlock benefits from Enigma so much, Jar Rune as well as Phoenix rune word and some of the other rune words, Jar has just exploded in wealth. It's almost double of what a Bear rune is worth at this point in time, and the whole season so far in these last 2 weeks. So finding that was absolutely huge, and the best find that I've had to date so far. I mean, other than the Shaco, the High Lords, the Viper Magi, Rax, all of that stuff's fantastic, but Jar was really the big one for me. And then over that time, through all my Magic Find runs and all the rest, I have been amassing some wealth and trading it using JSP to get some forum gold. And then today I bought my Bear Rune. At this point in speaking, I paid 1600 forum gold for it, and it's super expensive. But now we have our Jar Ith Bur, that is the runes for our Enigma in our Mage Plate. Mage Plate, because it is a lightweight base, so it doesn't impact our walk run speed, only requires 55 strength and has decent armor. And importantly, when we roll this Enigma now, we want our armor to be as high as possible, as that is the only variable roll on this. So that is 750 to 775 defense that I can roll on Enigma. So let's just check the rune order. Jar Ith Bur, not Bur Ith Jar. I'm pretty sure it's Jar Ith Bur. This is definitely something you want to be sure about. Let's go for it. Jar Ith Bur. That's Enigma. We got a very nice roll, 771 defense, so 771 out of 775, and it could roll 750 to 775. So we got 771. That is very, very good. So as we can see, we got that faster run, walk, all skills, 1 to teleport, a whole lot of strength, max life, physical damage reduced by 8%, life after kill, damage taken goes to mana, and that massive MF roll. This is honestly, Viper Magi was fantastic, but Enigma is just the business. And if we have a look here, it looks absolutely sick on the Warlock there. So yeah, we can sell this Viper Magi now. Maybe we'll even keep it for another character or something along those lines. And I think that my resistances take a bit of a knock here, but everything else is a massive upgrade. We got about 100 extra life there, got a bit of extra damage from that extra skill that we gained here. We importantly have that teleport, and yeah, we got masses of mana. Now we are sitting on that 90% faster cast rate, so we've reached our 75% faster cast rate breakpoint. With some changes, we might go for that 125 breakpoint. We'll see. What I'm going to do is change up my charms a little bit to get my resistances back up. And yeah, that is where we are sitting now for week 2, the end of week 2 of season 13, Reign of the Warlock. I am having a ton of fun this season. It has been great so far. This new character and this new breath of life in Diablo 2 Resurrected has just been so awesome. I am beyond thrilled. I am super stoked, and to get this Enigma now, it just opens up all this farming potential. Like, I used to hate doing Andariel runs, and now we can just teleport our way to Andariel and do Andariel runs. We can do Mephisto runs. We can do entire Act Terrorize runs a lot more efficiently and more quickly. We can do so much more that we never were able to before, because we now have teleport that can just make our efficiency so much better. And I think this must be the quickest I have ever built an Enigma in the start of a new season. Being 2 weeks, it was quite a push and quite a grind. I know a lot of other people can do it quicker. We got that jar rune in the first week, and then it's been a grind for the whole another 6-7 days after that, just to get the rest of our wealth to get that bear rune, and we found some nice drops along the way. So this is where I am, and we are going to be going some very exciting places from here. We're going to have our council run, trav run video coming up very soon. You must definitely stay tuned to that. It's been a completely interesting one for me. It was completely unexpected, the drops that we've been getting, the amount of runs that we've been doing, and we're just going to be doing a whole lot more content from here. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. That would be greatly appreciated. We are keen to start some live streams soon. I hope that's something you guys want to see. Please comment below if you would like to see that. And any shares, likes, views, any of that good stuff is always very much appreciated. And we'll catch you again soon for some more Mana and Motherboards. Cheers.